Markets down but stable, but today's listing Jaypee Infratech has not been a great one. In fact, yesterday's was not either. Satluj Jal Vidyut is trading at 24 rupees 40 paise, so that's below its issue price and quite a bit below that. So that disappointed the street, and today Jaypee Infratech is down 8% below its issue price at 93.5. To talk about whether you should be buying this now or not, Sanju Verma and SP Tulsian join in. They have opposing views on the stock. Thanks very much, both of you, for joining in. Mr. Tulsian, you would buy it at 93 rupees?
Yes, Udayan, I'll go for the stock at 94 rupees. Yeah.
Can you take us through why?
See, again, because this is a combination first of an infrastructure, pure road construction play and the realty. If you cannot take a call on the realty valuation, because they have the chunk of about 33 to 3,500 acres of land in NCR region. Part of that, monetization or maybe the profit booking have started by the company. And we have seen that 650 crore profit coming in to the company in last 18 months or so. And the best part is that even the profits which will be derived from this construction activities is also exempted under Section 80I. And company will definitely be making all the efforts to monetize this, land parcel over next 4 to 5 years, which can, give them a profit of on a present valuation. If I go on a valuation of about 10 crore rupees per acre, which has been prevailing on based on the FAR cost in the NCR region, can give them a profit of about 8 to 10,000 crore over next 4 to 5 years time. Because if you see, the management have indicated a turnover of about 2,500 crore for FY11, and of that nothing will be coming in from the road or the toll revenue. The entire amount will be coming in purely from the construction activities, and on that we can expect a profit of about maybe 1,000 to 1,200 crore in FY11 itself, which will be tax exempted minus the MAT liability, which will get attracted under Section 80IA. So I think they will be making all the efforts to encash this, make the company debt free, because if you see, out of their total cost of 9,500 crore, they have availed a debt of close to about 5,000 crore, and that if can get repaid from FY12 onwards, when the expressway will be operational, maybe in the phases from November 10, but I am taking that to start, in full-fledged from 1st April 2011, can, start giving them a revenue or the toll revenue of close to about 700 to 750 crore in the first year, which can, keep on increasing to about maybe 2,000 crore over next 2 to 3 years time. So if I take all these into consideration, and the present valuation, the present EV of the company is close to about 18.5 to 19,000 crore. And as I said, if I'm not taking the land, which company will be owning of about 2,200 acres in Aligarh and Agra, purely focusing only on the NCR region, which they will be having to the extent of about 300 to 330 million square feet. I think the company, even on the present basis, as I said, the present valuation has been at about 1,000 rupees per square feet. The present valuation comes to about 25,000 crore plus. Because if you are negative on the realty parcel or the land parcel, then probably one has to take a negative call on all the realty stocks, especially like DLF, Unitech, or maybe the other players, which will be tapping the capital market from that region. And then, probably then all other realty stocks looks quite stretched and overvalued. Yeah.
Sanju, morning. You disagree. What do you see as the fair value for the stock?
I don't necessarily disagree in entirety. Just to put things in their right context. About 2.5 weeks back, I remember I was on your channel and Udayan had asked me, what the fair value of Jaypee Infra is and whether I would subscribe to it. My answer remains the same. I don't see any reason to, do a somersault on that one. I had clearly said that my gut feel says the stock price will stabilize at lower than the lower end of the band, which means at between 95 to 100 or thereabouts. And my sense is that, the stock will perhaps hold at about between 85 to 90. The reason why I have, brought the range down now to between 85 to 90 is simply because the broader picture with respect to overall markets has in the last few weeks become that much more circumspect. I think in the case of Jaypee Infra, clearly you need to take a call as a potential investor as to whether you are buying it because of its land bank and real estate story, or whether you're buying it because it's an infrastructure proxy which combines the best of both construction and real estate. As Mr. Tulsian pointed out, I think the negative bit here is that the infrastructure story clearly is on paper at this point in time, because the toll revenues from the Yamuna Expressway will, optimistically speaking, filter in FY12. That is, if the project is completed as per management's claims in 2011. Were there to be an execution delay, then I think the toll revenues will start kicking in only by FY 2013. So I think the infrastructure story is slightly far-fetched at this point in time, which means that as things stand now, this has to be valued in the context of what valuation you would give to a real estate player. And I think that is where my worry stems from. I have said this in the past, and I'm reinforcing that. The fact of the matter is that a DLF or a Unitech is available to you at between 15 to 17 times on FY11 estimates. On FY12 estimates, DLF and Unitech are even cheaper at between 11 to 13 times at current prices. And both these companies will give you a compounded earnings growth of between 35 to 40% plus over the next 2 years. Now, in the case of Jaypee Infra, there are a lot of ifs and buts. The point that I want to make is that first, speaking of the expressway, what if the toll charges are not in the region of 1.8 or 1.9 per kilometer, which most analysts seem to be working with? Maybe it will be in the region of 1.3 to 1.4 per kilometer, which is what is charged along the Mumbai-Pune expressway, which is a far more industrialized belt. So to start with, to assume that the toll revenues in FY12 will be at 500 crores, assuming a toll charge of 1.8 per kilometer, is to start with very optimistic. If that were to come down to 1.4, then you're not talking of 500 crores by way of revenues from the expressway, but just about 350 to 390 crores. So as I said, there are too many variables in the equation which can sort of make the picture not look as pretty as it seemingly would seem at this point in time. Speaking of it being a real estate proxy, forget about price to earnings. Maybe that's not necessarily a good parameter to evaluate a real estate play, be it a DLF, a Unitech, or even a Jaypee Infra for that matter, notwithstanding the fact that Jaypee Infra is in any case trading at a 25% plus premium to its more established peers within the space. Even if you were to look at it from an EV to EBITDA, from a price to sales, or even a price to book, on a price to book, mind you, DLF and Unitech are trading at between 1.3 to 1.5 times, whereas as things stand now, Jaypee Infra is trading at 3 times plus, which is certainly expensive. So my sense is that, it is a good bet for alpha-seeking investors, people who are chasing yield, but people who are circumspect, people who are wary. I think it would do them good to certainly wait for a while, because I won't be surprised if this trades down further. Yes, the management has a stupendous track record behind it.